All right, we've got one last edge here that we need to get true to our other faces and parallel to our other edge. So we're going to come over here to the table saw and we're going to make a rip cut and take off a goodly amount of that stock to get that edge smooth. We can't do this on the jointer because the jointer only references its outfeed table. So if this edge is not parallel, if these edges are not parallel, no matter how many times they run them through the jointer, they're going to continue to be unparalleled. So I need to use something that has a reference edge to put my reference edge up against. So I'm going to use a table saw. So my marked edge, I'm going to put up here against the rip fence. I've got my blade height adjusted. It should just be about ½ an inch above the thickness of the wood. If I need to adjust that, I can move this blade up and down here at this wheel on the front of the table saw and lock it in place. I'm going to feed this between the blade and this rip fence. To keep my hands from going in here, I'm going to use an item called a push stick. So when I get this piece of wood in here, I'm going to push it the rest of the way through with this stick so I don't have to get my fingers anywhere near the blade. I'm going to push that all the way past the blade. If I leave this piece of wood in here, there's a possibility that the blade could pick that piece of wood up and throw it back at me. So I want to make sure I push that all the way past the spinning blade. Now, our two edges should be parallel, but of course the saw blade leaves us a rough surface. So to smooth that up, I'm going to go back to the jointer and take one pass and make this edge smooth. I'm going to want to take a very light cut, so I'm going to move this table up again. Just a very, very thin pass is all I need to do. Holding it up against the fence. Remember, the fence is at right angles. It's smooth. And my square's way over here. Going to check this again with the square. Hold it up to the light. Put the square, hold the square up against the face and on the edge. And we've got a 90-degree cut. So now we've got two faces that are flat, parallel to one another, two edges that are flat and parallel to one another, and the edges and the faces are all at right angles to one another. So the only thing left are the two ends.